I'll get onto that game when I get onto England later on when I do the review. But obviously, I'm not an expert on every nation. I did watch most of the games, however, so this is my thoughts and opinions. Put yours in the comments below. Which ones do you think I got wrong? And yeah, let's get into it. So, as you can see, we've got 6 days here. We've got a generational tournament. So this is for the people, for the nations who are gonna. Now this is a legendary tournament. The nation will remember this tournament. We've got a brilliant tournament. We've got overperformed. They did better than most people expected. Average tournament, underperformed, and then we got trash tournament. They completely flopped. So let's get straight into it. I think first one, yeah, we'll start with a fairly easy one. A good Turkey, and for me, straight in trash. They just scored 1 goal, finished last, didn't get a point, absolutely obliterated every game, and I thought they were going to do well, but completely flopped it straight into trash. Next, I think we'll go Scotland. Now this one's an interesting one. So Scotland, I'll put them here for now, but Scotland, they lost to Czech Republic, and then got a point against England, which was brilliant for them, but then lost to Croatia, finished last of the group, got 1 point. But I expected a little bit better from them, if I'm being honest. So they're gonna go and underperformed. It could be average, because I don't think many people were expecting loads, but I would have thought they would have got more than 1 point, so I'll go underperformed for them. Next, we'll go Sweden. Sweden, I think it's average. I think they had a chance. You could argue underperformed because they did top the group, I believe. They drew to Spain and then beat Slovakia and Poland, which is great. But then in the round of 16, it was trash. They had a chance. They came up against Ukraine, who were not absolutely amazing, and they lost it. But I think in the bigger picture of things, a round of 16 topping the group stage ahead of Spain, it's a pretty average tournament for Sweden. Next, we'll go for a bit, but we'll go Germany, and for me, it's underperformed. They got out of the group of death, but I think they finished 3rd. They almost lost to Hungary. They salvaged it. They lost to France. They did beat Portugal fairly well. However, losing in the round of 16 for a nation like Germany, that's not acceptable. And that could be trash, but I'm putting them underperformed because 1, I think a lot of people knew this isn't a great German team, and 2, they come up against England. So, there's not too much shame in losing to them, so I'll put underperformed for them. We've got a lot of down here right now, so let's go to someone who may have done well, and we'll go Ukraine. For me, it's brilliant, if I'm being honest, it's brilliant. I believe the furthest they've ever gotten to is a round of 16. They may not, actually no, I don't think they've ever got out of a round, the group stage. They got out of the groups, they came 3rd however, but they got out, and then they beat Sweden and they got to a quarter-final, which I know is the furthest they've been to. So I think for them, brilliant tournament, they should be proud of what they did. Russia. You could call this harsh, but I'm putting them in trash. They got smashed against Belgium. Then they did get the win against Finland, but then they got obliterated. Actually, it's not trash. I think because they had 10 men and the circumstances of the defeat, it's an underperformed. I think, yeah, you could argue trash, and I wouldn't bet against that, but I think underperformed is a bit fairer. Croatia. This one's going to be interesting, and I think it's average, because I don't think I think most people thought that, yeah, they're past their peak. They've managed to get through the group, and then they put up a brilliant display against Spain, and unfortunately lost, but there's no shame in losing to Spain, so I think it's average for them. We'll go Portugal next, and this one's tough. They got out of the group of death and then lost in the round of 16, but they lost to Belgium. I think it's on par with Germany, it's the same situation. They got out of the group of death fine, and for a country of them, getting out of the round of 16 is not good enough, but losing to a Belgium side, there's not really much shame in that, so it's underperformed. Finland, you know what, it's overperformed or brilliant. I'm going brilliant for a team, a nation the size of Finland, their first ever Euros. No one gave a hope. They put up a brilliant display against Belgium. Obviously it was bad circumstances, but they managed to beat Denmark. They managed to get their first ever win at the Euros, their first ever goal. They did narrowly lose to Russia, and they were very close in coming out of the groups. So I think it's a brilliant tournament for them. They should be proud. We'll go Denmark next, actually, speaking of them, and it's going to be generational. Considering what happened in that first game, the way they managed to galvanise themselves, they got out of the groups, they won their round of 16 game in convincing fashion. They won the quarterfinals, getting to a semi-finals, and they were so close to getting to a final. They can hold their heads up high, and with everything that's happened, this team is going to be remembered in Denmark and in most people's hearts for a very, very long time. Go Spain, and for me it's overperformed or brilliant. I'm gonna go brilliant, to be honest, because not many people actually thought Spain were gonna do anything this tournament. I didn't really think they were gonna do that well, to be honest, either. And especially after their start to the groups wasn't great, but then they grew into it. They smashed Slovakia, got out of the group, then they showed brilliant character, beat Croatia, and then they beat Switzerland on penalties, got to a semi-final, unfortunately lost on penalties, and I think the semi-finals is a brilliant tournament for them, who are clearly in a rebuild, so well done to Spain. Next, we'll go Czech Republic, and it's... oh no. Yeah, it's generational, I think. Now, Czech Republic, 8 quarterfinals of the Euros. It's brilliant for them. They've had an absolutely sensational tournament. And actually, okay, I'm going to drop it down to brilliant. Because now I look at it, I think them and Ukraine, they're on par. They both did really well to get out of their groups. Czech Republic did really well. I think they actually came second. Then to beat a team like Netherlands. Actually, no, I'm putting them in generational. Beating a team like Netherlands is brilliant. And quarterfinals, great for them. Next, we'll go Austria. Brilliant. I know they hadn't won a game at a major tournament for years. Then they managed to win 2, get out of the easy for them because they didn't actually get a point. They lost all their games, but they put up a fight in every game. And North Macedonia, their first ever Euros, no one ever gave them a chance. They scored 2 goals, and in all of them games, the teams had to work hard for it, so I'm putting them in overperformed. Next, we'll go France, and for me, trash, straight trash. They got out of the groups, not really convincingly. They drew to Hungary and then to lose to Switzerland. It's absolutely shocking. They were everyone's favourites, they were the clear favourites to win it. They went out in the round of 16. Absolutely awful. We'll go Slovakia. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put them in trash. They won a game, which is really good. Actually, you know what? For a team of Slovakia, I'm gonna put them in average because they did win a game, and I don't think many people thought they would. So they got smacked by Spain, but still winning a game for Slovakia at a major tournament, that's a good achievement. We'll go Italy, we'll go for the champions. Generational, absolutely brilliant. Not many people, I was one of them, actually viewed Italy as a proper contender or a favourite for this Euros, but it proved to everyone from the opening day that they were here and they meant business. They were here to win it. I think it was they never scored more than 2 goals in a Euros game. They scored 3 goals in their first 2 games, winning both 3-0. They didn't concede a goal in the group stage. They won all their games. Then they showed brilliant character to get past Austria, and then they knocked out Belgium, who were an absolute juggernaut, who many people thought were favourites, and then they beat Spain, another juggernaut of a nation, and then they beat England in the final to win it. They're going to be remembered as a brilliant team. Well done to Italy. And Mancini, they didn't even qualify for the last World Cup, so well done for the turnaround he's done. Wales, I put them in overperformed. Not many people thought they would get out their groups, and they did. They did it really well. They drew to Switzerland and beat Turkey, which not many people thought they would do. They did lose in the round of 16, but I think they overperformed this tournament and they could be proud. Poland, trash. Losing to Slovakia, that's inexcusable. They did manage to draw with Spain, which is good, but they came bottom of the group, got 1 point, and yeah, that's not good enough. Belgium, I put them underperformed. There's no shame losing to Italy, but this was really their last chance, I feel, to win something with this group of players. They didn't do it. They fell at the quarterfinals, and it's not really good enough for Belgium. Many people thought they were favourites or one of the teams to watch out for, but they weren't. Switzerland, brilliant tournament, absolutely brilliant tournament for them. They got out of their groups, came second or third, I can't remember. And then, obviously, to knock out for world champions, for overwhelming favourites, that's exceptional. And it's one of the shocks of the tournament, one of the shocks in the last few years. So credit to Switzerland, absolutely brilliant tournament for them. Hungary overperformed by far. They were 10 minutes away from getting out of the group of death, and I don't think many people thought they would even score a goal in their games, but they drew to France. They put up a brilliant fight against Portugal and were so close in beating Germany. So for me, overperformed. And now England. It's a brilliant it was a convincing win. Smashed Ukraine in the quarters, didn't concede a goal, lots of clean sheets. They managed to get to a final, which it was the first time in 55 years for England getting to a major tournament final. So absolutely brilliant tournament. But it's so painful what happened. They lost in the final on penalties, and yeah, it's a good learning curve, this tournament for England. I think they can use this to their advantage. They can use this as motivation and a learning curve for these young players, especially the players who missed the penalties. Unfortunately, you know, Rashford, Sancho, Saka. I felt horrific for them because they're such young players, and now they're gonna feel there's so many stupid people out there who are gonna be abusing them, and I've seen so much racial abuse to them as well, which is absolutely despicable. And people should be ashamed of themselves because, you know, these are young footballers who put themselves out there to take penalty in a pressure moment. They had the weight of the country on their shoulders. They missed. Everyone misses a penalty, but for people to abuse them and be racist to them and, you know, call them all sorts of names, it's disgusting, frankly. But away from that, I mean, as I said, England can use this as a learning curve for the World Cup. You know, they've experienced heartbreak, but they've got these young players have now got experience at a major tournament. They've got experience playing in a major tournament final. They've got experience of playing in Wembley in a tournament, and they can use this to their advantage at the next World Cup. But as for this tournament, it's a brilliant tournament for England. And yeah, that wraps it up. Let me know what you think of this, because I think I've got most of them right. Some of them could be debated, but let me know which ones you think I got wrong in the comments below. Consider subscribing. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you